New developments today in the ICE facility shooting that happened in Dallas yesterday. The U.S. Attorney and the Homeland Security will hold a news conference at 1:30 p.m. today later on in the afternoon to talk about their investigation and what they've learned so far. We're also learning more from FBI Director Kash Patel this morning. Among the details that Patel posted onto X, he said one of the handwritten notes recovered read, quote, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof?" Patel also says the suspect downloaded a document Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management that listed DHS facilities. We do have team coverage for you this morning. Want to begin now with Lacey Beasley. She is live at the scene now in Dallas with what else is going on there today. Lacey?
Hey, Ken. Yes, I was here also 24 hours ago, and it was a very active scene with lots of law enforcement. Today, there is less law enforcement presence, though I drove around the block about an hour ago. There's a lot of law enforcement that are positioned across different streets in this surrounding area. We are learning that this ICE facility is closed at least through Monday, pending this investigation. And here's what we've learned so far about this suspected gunman. We are learning from acting ICE Director Todd Lyons that he has identified the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Yan. Police say he took his own life after opening fire on the ICE field office in Dallas along I-35, which is where we're standing right now. Authorities say rounds found near Yan had messages that were anti-ICE in nature. FBI Director Kash Patel shared a photo online presumed to be from the scene with one shell that had a written phrase, quote, anti-ICE. Now, as for this immigration facility, we're told the suspect opened fire into a walled-off courtyard, which is where immigration detainees sign papers before being bused to detention centers. Investigators say one of the victims was shot while running from the van to try to get help.
Multiple rounds were fired into the building indiscriminately, into the lobby doors, the windows, various walls in the building, but also our sally port, which is where we bring in the secure location for detainees. The shooter fired indiscriminately into vehicles. The detainees were in the vehicle at the time.
Now, this marks the third time that ICE has been threatened or attacked in Texas. Now, if you guys remember, back on July 4th, there was an attack on a police officer at the Alvarado ICE facility there where he was shot in the neck. And here, just a month ago, we are learning from investigators, there was a man who came here with a backpack saying that there was a bomb in it. That was later proven to be untrue, and that man has since been arrested and charged with making a terroristic threat. Ken?
Yeah, Lacey, thank you very much for the very latest on that. As you mentioned, still a developing story, something we're going to continue to monitor. And we are continuing right now to learn more about the victims and the suspect in the shooting at the Dallas ICE facility. The investigation now spans across state lines. We know that. Our Lauren Crawford continues her team coverage from the newsroom with the very latest in the investigation.
Yeah, federal agents are searching homes in both Oklahoma and Texas, all connected to the suspect 29-year-old Joshua Yan. We're also hearing from neighbors who were stunned to see this kind of police presence right outside their front doors.
Kind of put you on our edge, you know. And the Hans, they're an older couple. I only met them one time, and that's when they first came down here from California. They said they bought that property back there, and they wanted to stop and meet us and stuff like that. And that's the only time I've ever seen them.
On Wednesday, hours after the shooting at a Dallas ICE facility, neighbors say they watched as SWAT and police lined their street in Durant, Oklahoma, about 90 miles north of Dallas, heading to a home tied to the shooting suspect. Authorities also searched this home in Fairview where his parents live. The 29-year-old grew up in Texas and has a criminal record here. In 2016, Yan pleaded guilty to delivery of marijuana between the amounts of 1/4 ounce and 5 pounds, according to Collin County court records. He was ordered to pay a $500 fine and was placed on probation for 5 years. The FBI is investigating the shooting as a targeted attack. Law enforcement experts we spoke with also believe Wednesday's attack at the ICE facility was planned.
There's no question that this was planned. There's no question that this was intentional.
Now, right now, we still know very little about the victims. One person died, but 2 others survived. We are told the survivors of the attack are being treated at Parkland Hospital. Federal authorities say that they were ICE detainees. The Mexican consulate confirms that one of the victims is from Mexico. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says he believes the victims were picked up in an immigration enforcement operation the same morning that they were shot. Back to you.
Lauren, thank you very much. We are also working to learn more about the victims in this shooting. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says he believes the victims were picked up in an immigration enforcement operation just yesterday morning. Investigators have not identified the person being held by ICE who was killed. We are told that the 2 victims who survived, they are believed to be at Parkland Hospital still at this hour. Officials there telling us that they will not release any information on those victims, but we did hear from the Mexican consulate yesterday in Dallas who confirmed that one of those injured is in fact from Mexico. The Dallas Love Field office where these detainees were taken serves as a temporary processing and holding facility too. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is promising state resources into the shooting investigation, and he shares what changes he wants to see when it comes to these cases.
All of us, individuals, media, law enforcement, we need to double down on explaining that it's completely unacceptable to have these attacks, first on life itself, but second on our own government. And such hostile acts against our government must be swiftly and harshly punished.
Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson called for people to remain calm, and this investigation still continues. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, posting on Truth Social yesterday afternoon that he's been briefed about the shooting and the situation that unfolded here. He called the words anti-ICE on the shell casing, quote, despicable. You're going to want to stay with CBS News Texas on air and online as our coverage continues on this deadly shooting at the ICE facility in Dallas. We will live stream a 1:30 p.m. news conference with the U.S. Attorney, with Homeland Security, and with the FBI special agent in charge here in Dallas. Again, they're expected to brief the public again at 1:30 today. And you can stay up to date on the stream with the CBS News app and on Pluto TV. We'll have it all covered for you there.